Most of you probably don't have the time to go through a lengthy novel of more than 400 pages, right? But what if I told you that today, in just about 15 minutes, I'm going to take you through the essence of one of the most famous novels ever written? Yes, we're talking about Gabriel García Márquez's masterpiece, 100 Years of Solitude. And if you're unfamiliar with this literary gem, imagine stumbling upon an old dusty map in your attic. It shows a mysterious town hidden away from the world. Curiosity piqued, you start to explore this map and uncover the story of a family that lived there for over 100 years. This family isn't like any other you've heard of. The story is filled with wonders, heartbreak, and the kind of magic that really makes you question reality. It's a book that takes you into the heart of Macondo, a place where the extraordinary is ordinary. This story is not just about a family, but about human emotions, the passage of time, and how history seems to repeat itself in the most unexpected ways. And just like an intriguing map leading to hidden treasures, this book unfolds mysteries and marvels that keep you turning the pages. It's a journey into a magical world that you won't want to leave. So let's get started from chapter 1. Alright, in chapter 1, we step into the memories of Colonel Aureliano Buendia, who takes us back to the early days of Macondo. This village, nestled away from the hustle of the world, was a dream brought to life by José Arcadio Buendía, the insatiably curious founder. The arrival of a band of gypsies, led by Marquez, becomes a pivotal point in Macondo's history. They bring technological marvels, igniting José Arcadio's imagination and leading him down a path of scientific discovery and alchemical experiments. His obsession with these pursuits creates a rift between him and his practical wife, Ursula Iguaran, as he becomes increasingly reclusive and detached from the bustling village life. Chapter 2 takes us further back in time, revealing the roots of José Arcadio Buendía and Ursula's relationship. They were born in a small village, descendants of those who survived Sir Francis Drake's attack in Rio Hacha. Their marriage, shadowed by the fear of genetic defects due to their familial connection, faces its first test when Ursula refuses to consummate it. This fear stems from a family legend about children born with pigstails due to incest. José Arcadio Buendía's pride is wounded, leading to a fatal duel with Prudencio Aguilar. Haunted by guilt, the couple leaves their village, wandering until they discover the perfect spot for Macondo. It's during this time that José Arcadio Buendía's fascination with the idea of Macondo as a city of mirrors, symbolized by ice, takes root. In chapter 3, an unexpected discovery by Ursula will forever alter the course of Macondo and its inhabitants. This chapter unfolds a series of events that will challenge the Buendía family in ways they never imagined. Macondo, once an isolated utopia, starts to transform into a bustling community. But with growth comes unexpected twists. Pilar Tenera, already entwined in the Buendía's family fate, gives birth to José Arcadio's son, Arcadio. And then, a mysterious orphan girl named Rebecca arrives at their doorstep, bringing peculiar habits and even stranger ailment that threatens to engulf the entire village. What is this strange insomnia plague, and how will it change the lives of the Buendías and the residents of Macondo? As the village expands and faces new challenges, José Arcadio Buendía's fascination with the unknown reaches new heights with Marquez's return. Meanwhile, Aureliano, the younger son, grows into a solitary figure, his path diverging from the expanding world around him. And as if destiny is weaving its own tale, Aureliano finds himself captivated by Remedios Moscote, the daughter of a government representative, setting the stage for a convergence of fates. Stay tuned as Chapter 3 unravels the tapestry of this magical world, where every choice and every discovery can lead to unforeseen consequences. Chapter 4 brings us to Macondo, a world of otherworldly realism, where Aureliano finds himself lost in loneliness and despair. He turns to Pilar Tenera, the same woman his brother has been with, seeking solace and support. Pilar, wise in the ways of love, helps Aureliano in his quest to marry young Remedios. Meanwhile, the family's two daughters, Amaranta and the adopted Rebecca, find themselves entangled in a love triangle with a stranger, Pietro Crespi. Crespi, who brings music into their home, decides to marry Rebecca, igniting fierce jealousy in Amaranta. As these love stories unfold, the village experiences its first brush with death as Marquez passes away, marking a significant moment in Macondo's history. Amidst mourning and fleeting happiness, José Arcadio Buendía, the family patriarch, begins to slip into madness, haunted by visions and memories, ultimately ending up tied to a tree in his own backyard. Chapter 5 brings us a whirlwind of emotions and pivotal changes to the Buendía household. we are going to see a series of events that will stir the very foundations of Macondo. Remedios matures into womanhood. She marries Aureliano. Their life together brings a fresh energy into the Buendia household. Tragedy strikes again when Remedios suddenly dies, possibly from a miscarriage. The house is plunged into mourning, delaying Rebecca's wedding with Pietro Crespi. In the background, the construction of Macondo's first church progresses slowly, and the priest discovers that José Arcadio Buendia's madness might not be as severe as thought. His Latin gibberish hides coherent conversations. The narrative takes a dramatic turn with the return of José Arcadio, his eldest son. His raw masculinity captivates Rebecca, leading to an affair that shatters her engagement with Crespi. In the midst of these turbulent romances, the political landscape in Macondo begins to shift, setting the stage for Aureliano's future as a revolutionary leader. Chapter 6 sees Colonel Aureliano Buendia, now deeply involved in the Civil War, leaves Macondo with his troops, fathering children across the country. He leaves Arcadio, his half-brother, in charge. Arcadio, however, turns into a cruel dictator. His reign of terror affects everyone, including his own family. Meanwhile, Pilar Tenera redirects Arcadio's inappropriate advances towards a young woman, Santa Sofía de la Piedad. Their union brings 3 new children into the world. However, when the conservatives regain control, Arcadio faces execution. Amidst the chaos, Pietro Crespi, heartbroken and spurned by Amaranta, takes his own life, leaving Amaranta to live with her guilt. In Chapter 7, the war continues to rage. Colonel Aureliano Buendia, now a prominent figure in the Liberal Army, faces capture and execution. In a dramatic twist, he is saved at the last moment by his brother, leading to another uprising. Despite his initial success in recapturing territories, an assassination attempt leaves him disillusioned. Aureliano begins to question the purpose of his fight, turning to poetry for solace. Back in Macondo, the Buendia family endures more tragedies. José Arcadio's death under mysterious circumstances and Rebecca's ensuing isolation add to the family's sorrows. Colonel Geroneldo Marquez, hopelessly in love with Amaranta, faces her continuous rejection. The patriarch, José Arcadio Buendía, finally passes away, marked by a miraculous rain of yellow flowers. Chapter 8 delves into a realm of forbidden passions and political upheaval. Aureliano José, Colonel Buendia's son, matures and develops a disturbing infatuation with his aunt Amaranta. Their relationship teeters on the edge of the forbidden, adding tension within the family. Aureliano José eventually joins the army, leaving behind his unrequited love. Meanwhile, Colonel Buendia, disillusioned with the war's direction, flees Macondo. During his absence, peace descends on the town under the leadership of the conservative mayor, José Raquel Moncada. However, this peace is shattered when Aureliano José is killed in an act of rebellion. The return of Colonel Buendia to Macondo ushers in a new era of conflict. Chapter 9. The execution of Moncada marks a turning point for Colonel Aureliano Buendia and Geroneldo Marquez. Both men grow wary of the war's purpose. Amaranta, still entangled in her complicated feelings, continues to reject Geroneldo's love. Colonel Buendia, now a hollow shell of his former self, faces a personal crisis, leading to a failed suicide attempt. This act of despair, coupled with the ongoing war, brings about a realization in Ursula. She strives to breathe new life into their home, attempting to rescue it from the decay that has set in during these tumultuous times. Chapter 10 brings us to Macondo, where we find Colonel Aureliano Buendia, who once commanded armies, now retreating into his own world. He spends his days crafting tiny golden fishes, a silent rebellion against his past life. His grandson, Aureliano II, delves into the mysteries of Melquiades' laboratory, encountering the ghost of Melquiades himself. His twin, José Arcadio II, starts off on a spiritual path, but soon veers into a wilder life, including cockfighting and unconventional sexual escapades. Their brothers, alike in appearance, unknowingly share a lover, Petracotes. Their tangled love lives, and the enchanting fertility of their livestock bring unexpected wealth and grandeur to Aureliano II, turning Macondo into a place of extravagant celebrations. Chapter 11 raises the question: what happens when 2 contrasting worlds collide within the same family? Enter Fernanda del Carpio, a woman raised with the expectation of grandeur, but facing the decay of her family's fortune. She catches Aureliano II's eye and becomes his wife, setting off a collision of worlds. Fernanda, with her rigid morals, clashes with Aureliano's hedonistic lifestyle. Despite their strained marriage, they have 2 children, but Aureliano II continues his passionate affair with Petracotes. Meanwhile, Fernanda attempts to reshape the Buendia household into a semblance of her aristocratic upbringing, creating a rift within the family. Chapter 12 sees modernity rushes into Macondo with the arrival of the railroad. The town is transformed. Foreign capitalists set up a banana plantation, bringing with them an influx of technology and luxury, but also confusion and upheaval. Amidst this chaos, Remedios the Beauty, oblivious to her devastating allure, ascends to heaven in a moment of surreal beauty, leaving the world of Macondo behind. Now, if you're thinking, how does the passage of time affect the anchors of our lives? That's what Chapter 13 is about. Time seems to flip away faster for Ursula, the family matriarch. José Arcadio II becomes immersed in the prophecies of Melquiades, seeking answers to the enigmatic manuscripts. Colonel Aureliano Buendía, now distant from the world, grapples with the futility of his past battles and the solitude of his existence. In Chapter 14, the death of Colonel Aureliano Buendía brings a somber mood over the Buendía household. Fernanda and Aureliano II's daughter, Amaranta Ursula, grows up in a house shadowed by the past. The elder Amaranta, consumed by loneliness and regret, prepares for her own death, her life a tapestry of unfulfilled desires and lost opportunities. Chapter 15. The tragic events surrounding Mauricio Babilonia leave Meme mute and broken. Fernanda, scandalized by her daughter's actions, sends Meme away, keeping her illegitimate child hidden in the old workshop. Macondo was roiled by labor unrest, and a brutal crackdown by government forces leads to horrific massacre, the memory of which is mysteriously erased from the town's consciousness. Chapter 16. A relentless rain lasting almost 5 years blankets Macondo, trapping its inhabitants in a state of suspended decay. The once vibrant Aureliano II settles into a quieter life, caring for his children as the Buendia fortune dwindles away. Now, what happens when the remnants of a glorious past confront the reality of a fading present? That's what Chapter 17 is all about. With the rain's end, Ursula, despite her advanced age, attempts to restore the Buendia home. José Arcadio II, secluded in Melquiades' room, becomes obsessed with deciphering ancient texts. The once lively house fades into a mere echo of its former glory, its inhabitants haunted by memories and ghosts of the past. Chapter 18 sees Aureliano II, immersed in Melquiades' prophecies, finds companionship in the ghost of the old gypsy, who guides him in unraveling the ancient texts. The Buendia family, now impoverished, clings to survival as Macondo itself begins to fade into oblivion. In Chapter 19, Amaranta Ursula returns from Europe, her dreams of reviving Macondo clashing with the harsh reality of its decline. Aureliano II falls into a forbidden love with his aunt, leading to a tragic culmination of the Buendia's family's legacy of incestuous relationships. Lastly, Chapter 20 brings us to the precipice of a startling revelation. Can the Buendia family escape the inescapable curse that has haunted them for generations? It starts with Gaston leaves for Belgium, never to return, as the illicit love affair between Aureliano II and Amaranta Ursula intensifies. The house, crumbling under the weight of neglect and red ants, becomes a testament to the decay and downfall of the once great Buendia family. The birth of their child, born with a pig's tail, fulfills the family's darkest prophecy. Amaranta Ursula's death and Aureliano II's despair marks the end of the Buendia lineage. As Aureliano II deciphers the ancient texts, he realizes they narrate the Buendia family's history, including his own life. A catastrophic wind destroys Macondo, erasing it from existence and memory, leaving behind only the echoes of 100 Years of Solitude. In the concluding chapter of 100 Years of Solitude, the tragic and mystical journey of the Buendia family reaches its inevitable end. The last of the lineage, Aureliano II, uncovers the true meaning of the ancient prophecies in Melquiades' manuscripts, only to realize they foretell the family's history, including his own current actions. The novel culminates in a surreal apocalyptic moment as a great wind obliterates Macondo, the town founded by the Buendias, erasing it from memory and existence. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey through the mystical and captivating world of 100 Years of Solitude. If you enjoyed this video and would like to know more fascinating stories and summaries, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot and helps us continue to bring you content like this. Until next time, keep turning the pages and exploring new worlds.